Hey guys, welcome back. This is Lucid. We're jumping back into our game with Nottheim in Dominions All-Stars. It is 46, turn 46. And I've got this turn, which we're going to breeze through, and then, well, not breeze through, because there's some important stuff. But then we're going to go to my real one on the server and probably play it. So this might be a little bit of a long episode. We have a message from United Nations Junior, dearest ally and neighbor. Your growth has been astonishing and frightening to behold as your war with Boss and G rages on. We have been offered a great deal to end our nap with you. So Boss and G has bribed them? While I intend to focus on Australium for the near future, the border will be open in the near future. Best of luck, you magnificent giant. Sent turn 45, turn 46, 47, 48. Peace is guaranteed. No, I went and talked with him, and he was basically explaining that he got bribed. The problem with bribing people into wars is that it's a little bit like hiring a mercenary. The problem with mercenaries is they don't really want to die for you. So they're going to kind of do what's in their best interest. Like, you may be bribing somebody to vulture. Now, there's a time when it can work. Like, I think... And I actually feel really bad about Boss and G not reading my nap ending message because that possibly fucked their theorists. Because like when somebody has a ton of troops on their border and they end their nap with you, that gets your attention. So like my ending my nap with Boss and G probably would have gotten his attention. Yeah. Anyway, the thing is, if it doesn't make sense, if he's preoccupied with other things, it doesn't make sense for him to attack me right now. Then yeah, he may not be terribly inclined to really intervene, and that may be a bribe where you just send away resources and get nothing in return. So I've talked with the player here, and what we have kind of said is, I'm like, look, okay, you're saying you don't want to end your nap with me, but I don't really understand limited wars. Like, if you're like, it's going to be a limited war, like, it's gonna escalate very quickly if we go to war. And he's like, yeah, I know. But, basically, he said, I'm not really looking to fight you, but the offer was too good to pass up with Boss and G. So I'm like, all right, look, okay, we don't have a nap anymore, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna let you draw first blood. So you get to attack me, and then when you do, I'm going to counterattack. Now, I'm not bound to that anymore. It was a gentleman's agreement. And what would I do if I wanted to attack him? I mean, I guess I could tell him. I'm not against that. I might tell him. But also, I mean, he's not going to tell me. I'm not really sure I'm going to definitively never attack him without telling him or without... or like waiting for him to draw first blood, but I'm inclined to. So I think for the time being, we're going to let them choose to attack us. And then as soon as they do, we'll try to have some massive retaliation ready. But anyway, that's a pretty important diplomatic update. We have a few battles here. We kill some barbs who are raiding us. We have one of his little super thugs coming in here, and he's got a horror helmet, chainmail of displacement. This is a pretty expensive kit, but it gets him up to 32 defense. Part of it is from this chainmail displacement. It gives you 3 defense. Pretty good item if you're going for like attack defense stats. And the problem is no amount of skeletons are going to harass him down with the Vine Shield. Now, if I did anti-magic, there's actually a chance that this could work. Like, that these guys could kill him. Because it's going to basically mean significantly fewer of them are entangled, which means there's going to be more of a harass penalty, not this measly little 1, which means there's a better chance they're going to pop the glamour. Does it mean, like, these guys will actually be able to kill him? Well, not really. But it's better than you would think. So that's that. We've stolen this from Boss and G. Then, well, this is just his fort. He didn't, I was thinking he might choose to try to defend it, but he doesn't have, he did not. He didn't even put PD there once I took my guys off. Okay. Some of these, he's just going to kill PD. We're not really going to watch. Here, we're attacking Arthurus with an army. Here, we've got Long Dead that... We actually defeat him. He kills a fair amount of our Long Dead, but we have an Eagle King here. I think that's what saves us for me. Where's my Eagle King? Oh, it's the Blowpipeman. I guess there is no Eagle King. I thought I saw one in the combat report. But yeah, archers are actually kind of okay against elves. Okay, he got whittled down. So that's nice. Where the did that guy... Maybe this guy retreated. That must be what happened. Yeah. It's too bad. If he was there, he would have killed him. Okay, we take this from Basenji, which is of no huge consequence. He raids us here, he raids us here. This is a different raid, because he's got Tuatha warriors. These were the guys who were on top of that Arthurus fort a moment ago. So it looks like during the interim of peace, he snuck them into my lands, which does not bother me at all. Because if we had ended our nap, you can assume that's what elves are doing, is sneaking troops into your lands. If they weren't there already. But yeah, I would feel really bad if I were him and I didn't know about like a nap ending. So yeah, I want him to be able to play this war out the way it would play out, you know, the way it should play out. If he were, you know, aware of diplomacy as it actually happened. Anyway, okay, so here, this is a kind of interesting little battle between Alliance and Pompeii. So we've got a little Zidaean group. Now, groups like this used to terrorize the living shit out of Pompeii, because he just could not come up with an effective counter to these Zidaeans, because Zidaeans are nasty. Now, unfortunately for him, yeah. They lost a Praetor, which is a little bit annoying, but these guys got wrecked. Now, where they ran off to, I'm not totally sure. Here we lose a ton of undead chaff, which is... We do not have unlimited free spawn. Losing undead chaff is no bueno for us. Well, I think we also lose the scout here. Yeah, you didn't see it. He just ran forward. Or no, he's back here. Okay. Yeah, okay, we do lose him. He just walks up. Now, we do not have anti-elf tech out, and we are going to massively do anti-elf tech this, not massively, largely do anti-elf tech this turn, and we should have been prepared for it, because we should have known this was coming. Here we have the final battle with Yominam in the fortress of Histria, but anti-elf tech is actually going to be crossbows on our scouts, with undead chaff to tie them down. I am a believer that these crossbows... There are a few crossbows that will murder those fucking elves. Okay, so on this side, let's go ahead and do the little... In the left corner, we have Nottheim with a shit ton of giants. In the right corner, we have Yominam. He has tyrants with items. Dun dun dun. I think this guy cast flaming arrows. No, he didn't. They're not at flaming arrow tech. Which, like, look, guys. You're gonna play with these guys, they have javelins. The javelins should have flaming arrows on them, okay? We've got the anti-thug fuckers back here doing soul slay and raise dead and stuff. How strong is their communion? It is magic boost 3, so that means it is an 8 slave communion. I love the sprites for these guys, the occultists. Pretty cool looking. On my side, we have dropped a few things now. We've done solar eclipse, and we've done natural rain. It's gonna make fire magic a little harder. I think he did just cast flaming arrows. Nope, I cast flaming arrows. Because I'm a badass. That's right, flying giant skeletons. Oh yes. Oh yes. Now the problem with the Solus is they still have shit attack, even worse shit attack and defense at night. The only good thing is that theirs is so low it caps out at 0. Oh, but we are in amongst their communion, and that is going to be the end of the battle, killing their communion. Now, there's a fair amount of this demon chaff here in the middle, but we have a Holy Communion, which can banish the shit out of them. And we have flaming arrows, which are also going to murder the shit out of them. And they have a Tyrant, but we have a Scrotty, and they are in a slap fight here. It's not really a slap fight, guys. This is a fucking man fight. The only problem, for those of you who don't know, the way targeting works is if you're in a square, you'll preferentially attack in front or behind you. And I forget if there's a preference to in front or behind. I think your preference is normally in front. If that doesn't work, then you attack behind. If not, then you'll look to your sides. So the nice thing about this guy is that his behind is covered, his front is covered, which means he's just gonna sit here and attack this Scrotty. Which until these squares are empty, he won't attack anything. And apparently he's even just attacking this square. So we've really got to clear this out before he's going to go after the Tyrant. So the Tyrant's really going to get... And he's got 2 weapons on him. You know, he's no slouch. He has 2 41 damage attacks. But Scrotty don't give a fuck. Scrotty are good units, guys, if you hadn't noticed. Okay. And the forces of Nottheim win. I won't say this was trivial, but it didn't cost very much. And that was it. So we whooped the shit out of them with really reflexively. We weren't even going to fight on that front. They were slow doing their turns, and now they were not, I want to be very clear, like, they were not staling. They were not really requesting extensions. They were getting their turns done. So they were being, I mean, they're a good player in that sense. But if you're the last one every time, it's just bad etiquette. And people who are hungry and neighbors may take that bad etiquette as an affront. So anyway, we ended that war pretty quick. 4 events: turmoil, unrest, earth gems, gold, and an elixir of life. Very nice. Population leaving. Fuck that. We got a little bit of the population back. The way this works, there's normally people leave, and then nearby you normally get... is this nearby? I don't know. Usually somewhere else they go, neighboring, but this doesn't appear to be next to them. Get some gems. We got some gold. Did we get any fire gems this turn? 2. More gold. And then we bumped off a scout. And that is basically it for this turn. Now, let's go ahead and talk about what we're going to do, because I don't have my turn order saved, and I'm not going to redo them. That's the one thing that I kind of wish that Clockwork Hound's bot would have. It's like a way to save your 2H files. That way you can actually see what you did. I kind of messaged Drithril, who's the guy who designed it and manages that. I think he added it to his to-do list, but probably in the part that's so close to the bottom that it's never going to happen, but we'll see. I think it's primarily a benefit for YouTubers. So, yeah. There's actually, I feel like the Dominions community too has a fair amount, it has way more YouTubers now than it used to. There's a lot of, and if you guys haven't checked them out, I don't even know the best place to find them. But there's a lot of small little YouTube channels where people are putting games up now. It's awesome. I can't say I watch all of them, but I think I've seen at least a few episodes of almost everybody's. And so I think that's really cool. Okay, anyway, we've got these guys here. We are going to make a play for the Basenji capital. We're just going to beeline over this way. Now, one thing I'm going to fuck up on, and you're going to know I fuck up on it because we're about to watch it, is that I'm not doing Serpent's Blessing. If I just did this... we would be happy fucking campers, but I don't. I don't. I admit I don't. I know I don't. I didn't. I don't. I should, but I didn't. Okay? I've said it. But anyway, we're gonna bring these guys here. So anyway, if that's not foreshadowing for bad things to come, then I don't know what is. It appears there's a reasonably sizable force here with Veti hags and long dead giants, presumably some elves. I think I'm inclined to just skip those and go after one of these. I'm not really sure. Not really sure. Back down in the elfing world, let's see what happens. Did we already do these? No. Okay, we get elfed here. I feel like we might have done these. Yeah, we already did these. Okay. We're gonna move this army over this way, stack them up in here, and then we'll probably move them up this way, though I'm not terribly sure. I feel pretty confident fighting these guys. This is probably the weakest part of my empire, so I need to look to reinforce this fort. I've got a fair amount of mages here, but I just, I need more. Basically. We also have been making all the spell boosting items, which is fixing, I think, the one kind of main weakness of this nation, is that I don't have terribly high path access. I'm like very wide but shallow. Except for air, really. But now that we have a ring of wizardry, and a robe of the magi, and a ring of sorcery, and pretty shortly we could have an elemental staff if we wanted. I think that problem will largely dissipate. I have to decide if I want to do a staff of elemental mastery. Right now I'm not sure. We're going to storm this fort. These idiots here are going to go on top of this, because I'm figuring there's a pretty good chance we have a fight, and if we have a fight, more Scrotty is going to be more good against more elves. The other thing we're doing is in every single fort that is remotely near the elves, we're making a dryad, so if they choose to send people on top of it, we can assassinate them. I was thinking about magic phase attacking. I think for me to magic phase attack, I want to do it with air elementals, and I don't know how often he's going to move and sneak. And if he's doing it every turn, then I'm just going to waste it. So what I think I may do, first of all, we're just going to wait for Conjuration 5. Once I have Conjuration 5, I may or may not do it, but I might just let him get lazy first. Right? Because at some point, you hate with these guys moving and sneaking, because you're half as effective raiding. But if he starts doing it every turn, like attack, 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 well then one turn, I'm just going to kill all of his guys with air elementals. And he won't get to be, then he'll be like, oh shit, maybe I should have kept sneak attacking. That same turn you lost like 5 guys to air elementals. And each one of these guys is like 40 gems. So, yeah, that's gonna feel good. The other thing that we're doing is we're making, I don't even know where we're doing it. Oh, because I haven't assigned him to do it because this doesn't have my turn file. We're making a shit ton of Banefire crossbows and a shit ton of ethereal crossbows. These are both 5 gem items, which means with a hammer, they're both 3 gem items. And one of my Scrotty with a good crossbow, not Scrotty, Jotun Scout, can just, it's a great anti-thug weapon. Great anti-thug weapon. I mean, the ethereal crossbow, if we just look at these. This thing is armor negating damage that is also going to soul slay. It's MR negates, but they don't have terribly high MR. I seem to recall, because I've tested it, I seem to recall, though I could be wrong, I seem to recall it actually doing a fair amount of damage if it hits, but it fails the Soul Slay attack. And I thought it was armor negating. Okay, this I'm misremembering the weapon, because I thought it was armor negating damage plus a Soul Slay effect. Anyway. The Banefire crossbow, on the other hand, it's 10 armor piercing damage on a piercing attack with 10 damage, and 1/3 of wielder's strength is added. So I have a few of these. We can go ahead, I'll just show you what it looks like on these guys. And then we'll go, I think, to my real turn, because it'll be a little bit of a long episode, but it's probably what you've come to expect from me. Okay, so this is a 17 damage crossbow shot. Because it's doing 1/3 of 22, which would be... which would be 7 or 8, and then plus the 10. And then this is armor piercing damage. So, yeah, it's basically... it's going to be versus 40% of their protection. So if they were protection 20, which the elves might get to 20, then basically it's going to count that as wait, we said it's 40%, so it's going to count that as 8. Yeah. So 8 versus 17, these guys are going to get absolutely wrecked by these. Like, if they get hit, they may not die immediately, but they'll die very shortly. The other thing that's going to be nice is that it's an area of effect decay. And do I care if I decay a few of my own long dead? Not at fucking all. Do I care if I decay an elf? The answer is yes. I could care a lot. And even if I barely miss, it's an area of effect 3 decay. It's MR negates, but eventually we'll get them. So we're going to be making a fair amount of these, and I have a feeling these crossbows, the death ones, are going to be better than the ethereal ones, so I think they're both going to work. The other point of comparison between them is the accurate precision. They're range 45, precision 2. These are range 45, precision 5. And so this will be 2 to 5 is noticeable. So I don't know, we'll try them out, we'll see how they work. But we're going to be making a shit ton of those. I'm going to be salvaging, just like I did off of this army up here, all the crossbows I can, and we're going to be putting them down here. We're going to be taking back a few of these little elf territories, though not a ton, because I don't really have, and you may laugh at this, I don't really have free spawn, because I have to use thaumaturg turns. And I like my thaumaturgs, and I need them researching soon, but I don't know how soon. We will feel confident to make almost all the thaumaturgs reanimate undead. Once I have, it'll probably be at some point when I have alt 9. I'll probably be like, that's good enough. It's not good enough right now, though. Which means they're not really, my guys who have the Amulets of the Dead are making it all the time, but they're not making enough where I don't care about losing them, is what I'm trying to say. Now we have a ton of troops here. We're going to be rolling them out and reinforcing and all of this jazz. But yeah. But the main moves this turn are we're storming this fort. This guy's going to be doing mass flight and arrow fend. This guy's going to be doing mass protection. This guy's going to be doing flaming arrows. This guy's going to be doing legit darkness. This guy's going to be doing legit darkness. This guy's going to be doing flaming arrows. This guy's going to be doing mass protection, but unfortunately, he is not going to be doing Serpent's Blessing. And with that, let's go ahead and go to the next turn, to my current turn, to turn 47. Okay. So let us take a look. We get 30 fire gems from Pompeii. That was in for all the items. I didn't show you the items I sent him because I didn't have my actual turn file. But I sent him 2 Scutata Volturnuses, which are these things, and I sent him 2 Frostbrands. Now there's a decent chance that he turns around and attacks me with this shit I just made for him. Fortunately for me, I feel pretty confident in my ability to kill tyrants. Pretty confident. Not extremely confident, but pretty confident. I will probably have to test it a little bit, because tyrants, especially if you're going to use Scrotty, tyrants are motherfuckers, and they will murder things. So we'll have to be careful. But I just believe it can be done. If I get my protection high enough, if I have liquid body, if I go berserk, if I surround him with a few things that are annoying him, like air elementals or undead or anything like that, just a little bit of chaff to distract him while the Scrotty goes to town, I'm pretty sure we can do it. Phoenix Pyre Tyrants means we're just going to have to do Axes of Hate, but I'm a believer, all right? So this is my current turn. Let's go ahead and see what happened. Okay, sorry, I had to pause for a second there. Okay, so yeah, we got the fire gems from Pompeii. We found a magic site, Painted Cave. This is an Astral 1 site. Cast Firebird a few times. We've had to tone down since we're out of fire gems, but no more. And yeah, it turns out the elves didn't attack me very much. You can look down here, you don't see a lot of elf attacks, which means they're probably coming in this coming turn. So we can deploy our anti-elf measures. The one place they did attack me here was in Scrawl Point, and I think I have nothing here. I'm not actually sure where Scrawl Point is. Here, which is fine. Kind of valuable province, actually. But I revealed something to him last turn, which was that I'm not doing magic phase attacks. So we will see if he starts feeling more comfortable using elves. And I think I'm going to let him continue to get comfortable until one turn it all breaks down for him. Now, this getting into kind of philosophy a little bit. There's this idea that it's very difficult to know anything. And for example, like the black swan is one of the classic examples. In Europe, all the swans are white. And so every time you go out and you see something new, you can say, oh, I saw a swan, it's white. And every time you see it, it confirms a belief that all swans are white. And it doesn't matter how big of a sample you do, basically, yeah, every time you go out and you collect a new sample, it's going to further confirm your belief until you go to Australia and you see black swans, in which case the rule is broken. Another good example of this is with the turkey and Thanksgiving, which is kind of like a little parable. But on basically every day of the year, the turkeys are like, oh man, this farmer guy, he's awesome. You know, he brings me food, he makes sure I'm not sick. You know, he gives me these this place I can live. You know, make sure predators don't get me. You know, what a nice guy. And that's what they think. And every single day they wake up, and the skeptical turkeys, you know, they're like, no, this farmer guy, he's not good. You know, he's gonna do horrible things to us. And then every day they're proven wrong. And so every day their claim gets less and less credible. Well, one day Thanksgiving comes around. And on that day, all the data points before it didn't matter because all the turkeys die. So it just means some things are hard to predict. So what we're going to try to do is we're going to lure him, and we might have to lose a few provinces to do this. We're going to lure him into thinking he can just raid without worrying about magic phase attacks. Now, we're going to still be trying to kill elves with crossbows and stuff. But he is going to think that, man, this is the only trick that Lucid has up his sleeve. And because of that, he's going to be lured into a false sense of security. Now, when that happens, that is when we do the mass air elemental attack. And I won't wait too long, but it might be like 4 or 5 turns from now. This is not going to be, I don't think, a terribly quick war with Basen G. Effing elves, right? So here we have a big battle with a Basen G army. Now, this is the battle that I failed to cast Serpent's Blessing. On my side, we have about 400 long dead. On their side, we have about 150 elite units, including Tuatha warriors, including war trolls, with a fair amount of mage support. So let's go ahead and watch this, see what buffs come up. So he's doing a communion of his own. It's a chorus communion. Of course, for whatever reason, our colored tiles are basically the fucking same, so you can't tell anything. They're literally the exact same color. Fuck. I've never seen it this bad. I've seen it close and bad, but I've never seen it this bad. I wonder if it has to do with the fact that we're basically the same base nation. Where he's Jotunheim, I'm Niflheim. They may be color-coded to the nation. Okay, so let's take a look at what's happened now. So our guys, they now have mass protection, so they're not going to die terribly easy. I didn't do Fog Warriors because I didn't have an Eagle King. And I probably didn't have enough air gems. This is like my budget army, okay? This is not the good guys. Now, the problem, these guys did not get blessed either, because apparently I was too lazy to put on Divine Blessing, so they are also going to die to Foul Vapors, because I'm a fucker. God, I'm so dumb. What a fuck up. I need to pay more attention. But these flaming crossbows are doing a fair amount of damage. They're not terribly accurate, but we do have arrow finned. Okay, we don't have arrow finned on our guys. It's just, God, this is such a weak force. Compare the fact that this is actually going to do okay is hilarious to me. My mages are all fucking afflicted. They're going to be dying. Foul Vapor's hurting his trolls a little bit, but yeah. I think this was too weak of a group to run at his capital. Let's look at the effect of darkness. These guys normally would have pretty good stats, but you can see from darkness they're getting a -3 penalty. Meanwhile, we don't get any. So like our attack, it's a 16 attack versus these guys' defense 17. So that means we're going to hit a fair amount. And that's going to matter a lot. If we look at my Ice Guard, they're going to basically have the same -3 penalty. My crossbows are all going to fucking die from the poison. My mage who cast darkness has now died because I didn't do Divine Blessing. I mean, how bad can you fucking be at this game? I'm playing, this is a shit turn. This is, I mean, not only, I've literally watched in every battle him cast Foul Vapors, and then I didn't do Poison Resistance. Not only did I not do Divine Blessing, which has Poison Resistance built into it, but I didn't cast Foul Vapors. I mean, well, you can argue about which one's worse, but now my mages are probably fucked. Yeah, they're all running. Crossbows are running, turkeys are running. Everybody's fucking running. He storms forward. Honestly, if I did even Divine Blessing, I think I would have won this. Just having my Mage Communion sit there and shit out guys, but my guys, I think, dissolved at the end. Well, let's see. Let's watch it one more time. I think it was here. Tristia. No. What's Tristia? Okay, let's just watch it real quick. I want to see if when darkness comes down if I'm routing. I think my guys are dissolving. Yeah, they're just dissolving. Yeah, I think if I did Divine Blessing, I would have won that. And this was like, there's a few things. Like, one, I've completely fucked up the script. Two, this was like my C team, right? This was not like a strong force particularly. I mean, we had a fair amount of crossbows, but not a lot. But if we add it all up, we killed 63 Tuatha warriors, and these guys are 40 gold apiece. So if we add up the total gold loss, this is around 3k worth of gold loss. And if we add up all the gold loss here, in terms of my mages mostly, it's about like 1,700 mages and crossbows. So you look at that and you're like, okay, when I did everything as bad as I possibly fucking could, we lost 1,700 to kill 3,000. And there's a very good chance I would have completely won this if I just was not a complete, utter idiot. So we don't want to make that mistake again, but at the same time, it was a good trade for us. So we'll see. Other battles, we raid here. We raid here. And then we have a battle in the fort. And let's see if he bothered to defend it. He may have thought he couldn't defend it and kind of pieced everybody the fuck out. It does have, oh, Adepts of the Silver Order. I think these are going to be more useful for him than for me. Though, I mean, Air Astral is a good cross path. It's definitely something I can use, because I think right now for to get air in my communions, I'm relying on cap-only mages. So this will be nice just to, like, not have to rely on them. We also have a battle in the Fortress of Tiradir. Which this is just the last stronghold of Otheris, or one of them. Oh, we actually kind of lost a lot there. How much did we lose? 50 dudes? That's kind of too many, but I guess it's okay. There's also a battle in Mannheim. Now, everybody, if you don't have your popcorn out, get your popcorn, because we got a pretty good battle here. On the left side, we have United Nations Junior with Starspawn and Gandharva and White Mages, aka Bakemono Sorcerers, and a shit ton of Eagle Warriors with some Irradiated Arabians, aka Lava Warriors. I think that's what they are. Maybe, no, these are the smaller ones. I forget what these ones are. The name in vanilla. On the right side, we have Polemarks with very weird Polemark defense gear, which he probably got from elves. In fact, this is definitely an elf kit. We have the Muse, who can seduce. We have a Gaija. We have the Prophet. And then we have some skin shifters. So this is the beleaguered force. I don't know if I covered it. Oh no, so I didn't. So for those of you who've been following with some interest, the Mannheim United Nations conflict, I'll give you some context in case you weren't. Mannheim has been holding out with their capital plus their cap rank for like 20 turns now. And they've been just daring people to come fight them. And so Otheris, and what they have been doing is they've been patrolling their cap. Every turn they patrol their cap. So if you think you're going to sneak onto your cap without a fight, no. They're going to have an army there with mages. So Otheris brought this huge army next door, parked it next to the cap, and he's like, okay, I'm going to patrol with my whole army. And so he does, and there's a battle, but it's not what he was expecting. It wasn't all these guys. It was instead one of these idiots with a Phoenix Pyre little communion going on. Or not communion, but a little Phoenix Pyre thug. So that's one of the things we will have to be sort of prepared for when we fight United Nations Junior, is going to be a little Phoenix Pyre guys. which honestly, if you have mass flight up, is not an issue. I mean, it's just, you'll have to, your guys are going to blow up a little bit, all right? They're going to blow up a little bit, but you just got to be okay with that and let it happen. If you have cheap undead, it costs them way more to make, for the most part. Now, they might be able to, you could probably design some kind of Phoenix Power Thug that would take long enough to kill from giant skeletons that it might be efficient and maybe even could win. But I think it will be tough to do, and those will definitely be expensive. You know, this guy with basic armor and like where Cast Iron Skin gets 30 protection, and then we have my skeletons on mass flight hitting him every time he comes down. I do not imagine Phoenix Pyre will work terribly well, but it's something we need to think about. So anyway, I would pretend this actually is going to be a huge, really good fight, but I don't think there's much that the beleaguered forces of Mannheim can do after losing that. They basically lost their whole army to this Phoenix Pyre guy who just, they probably killed him 100 times. But he just popped up all over the map blowing people up. And you can see it's basically just a murder fest. And then basically all that's left now is his Pretender. And his Pretender is probably not going to hold up terribly well to Eagle Boys. Probably not. Let's take a look, see what buffs they all have on them. They've got Flaming Arrows. They've got Weapons of Sharpness. Pretty good. They've got Arrowfind, pretty good. So yeah. I mean, like, this is a huge commitment from Otheris. I could probably kill this army, but it would do a lot of damage. It would do a lot of damage. Could also just seduce it. I think that's one thing we're a little short on right now is seducers, so we're going to be making, I think, a lot of them. And what I'll probably be doing is when they're not seducing, we're going to have them research, and I'll probably start transferring Alquils to them and then getting even more reanimators. Okay, so that was that, and then was this also in a fort? Yeah. Here were these guys storming the fort. Okay. Did not get terribly good events this turn. Firebirds, where are you at? I feel like I've been a little lacking in good Firebird events, considering that I have a shit ton of them. Yeah, we're at like 60 here, which means I should get one event a turn. Anyway. One thing we are going to do here is basically put everybody back on Firebird casting. Gotta burn through those gems Otheris sent me. So that's good. I think we moved a couple guys down here, didn't we? We did. We're gonna maybe have him hang tight. So I think we are now no longer in a nap with these guys. They are not showing a huge interest in attacking me, just given what I'm seeing here. So I'm not really sure. We're gonna go ahead and put a stealthy little lady here in the forest. I probably need to make some barrels of mercury too, so I'm not only water elementals. Because they're going to be ice elementals, which are just, you know, quite honestly, not that great. They're okay, because they'll, like, freeze people. They don't have cold resistance. They won't be trampled by boars, so they'll be okay, but you know, it's not going to be great. So anyway, we have that to do. You can see here, we've got this guy patrolling in case he tries to raid us. We got a Banefire crossbow. One thing I think I have figured out is that I can't, if he does stealth move, or whatever, I can't actually ever seduce him or assassinate him. Only when he's got an army, like he's trying to siege something down. So, anyway, that's annoying. We'll have to figure out how we deal with that. I'm kind of inclined... Now, he probably thought this group was going to go sit on top of his capital. So let's go ahead and see what he's got here. He's probably thinking these thugs were going to walk over here. Man, I think there's a pretty damn good chance we could have killed... Well, I don't know. Okay, I don't know. That's a lot of thugs. These guys, I mean, that is a lot of thugs. They don't hit terribly hard, and if I got Iron Warriors on both of them, did they do any flying things? No, they didn't. How long does it take them to get over here, though? They're sprinting wolves. But no flying units. Which means I could get Iron Warriors off on both of them. He was thinking I would attack here. He patrolled me off here too. Let's see what he's got here. So I think most of his military power is actually in these two provinces, especially now that this army's been basically, I won't say crushed, but significantly weakened. We have a couple problems. One problem is I need to get nature gems out to people on this front. Oh, and I gotta make sure I send my gems to my new enemies. This is the thing, even when you're at war, if you do a thing where you put up a global, you still gotta send them their shit. Okay, so he's gonna come here. I think we're pretty good on Nahuli. Now, we probably should bring him with actually more gems. And this guy can actually, let's copy this to like 8. Now, I think what I want to do, because he's doing this literally every fight, we're going to do Serpent's Blessing, and then we're going to do Mass Protection. Okay. Something like that. And then this Nahuli can peace the fuck out. He can go get some gems, and then go back somewhere else useful. He raided me here. So, while I didn't counter-raid this last turn, because... I don't have anti-elf tech, and I don't really want to lose my my dudes. I do feel pretty confident doing it this turn. Though okay, so like this guy... Okay, we're going to raid here with these guys, and he's basically going to shoot them with a crossbow. We've got Max Verney down here with Obsidian Eyes, the Atomic Jaeger, the last of the Milkworts, or the last of the Atomic Jaegers, because they're cap only, and I've got his cap. Here it is. He's looking on, hopefully, that maybe he gets his cat back. Though, I mean, he invited me to take it, basically. But yeah, I think what we're going to do... Sunridge, I do like this place. I think we're going to patrol here. I think you are going to move inside this fort. Who's moving? We need to put all of our new crossbow tech on these guys. Like, you're going to do move and patrol. And stay behind troops. Now, the nice thing about this, since we're not fully kitting out like a thug to deal with these guys, is we're not going to have all our item slots full. So we will be able to pick up all their shit. The other thing I can potentially do, because I'm realizing now that, well, a lot of these, well, basically, we're not going to be able to seduce him. So I think what is a better plan is actually patrolling. In a bunch of places he wouldn't necessarily expect it, patrol. Then we'll just go ahead and do our swarm castings. What did we do for you? Now these guys are kind of a liability right now, so we definitely want to... I think we're going to double patrol. And we'll go ahead and... we'll make this script... make you 7. Now I also want to have... I do want somebody with crossbow tech coming out this way. You're patrolling here. He's diseased, but he'll be okay for a little bit longer. Let's go ahead and get the shitty ones first. We'll move our giants out later. There we go, okay. You are going to get a Banefire crossbow, I think. And I think we're going to have you move here. Stay behind troops and fuck with the elves. I do want to have somebody that can move over here, which... he may try to cap me, so we're going to go ahead and give this guy some anti-elf tech. You never know where elves are going to be, so the best solution is just assume they're going to be everywhere. And then you will never be disappointed. See, we made quite a few of these. Can I go to any? Okay, we can go here. That's perfect. That means we can now peace out. So I think we're going to go ahead and take this back. Now, once either of us get Mind Hunt, we're going to be in trouble. He has Seth Benders who can do Mind Hunt, so he can definitely do it. I don't know if he can do it efficiently. I mean, the Astral 3s can do it pretty easy. Yeah. Pretty efficient Mind Hunt chassis. The the other thing we've got is we have now another kit. So this guy's pretty good anti-elf. I'm actually more worried about, do I have any cold resistant stuff? We just do it with you. Move and patrol. I think we're gonna take you idiots. I kind of want to chill out. We don't have a ton of corpses here. Oh, this is my profit too. Shit. Okay, we'll preach. We're gonna kind of hang tight a turn. We're gonna build a temple. You can patrol. You know, if you die, then so be it. You can patrol too. Is this guy a slave? He is. So he'll burn this slave out, so let's just take you off the slave script. And then let's have you guys, I need more long dead, so we'll go ahead and do that. Let's give you some amulets. Probably gonna take these off next turn, but now we could also potentially blood hunt, which I do want to do because we haven't really talked about research in a while, so we'll do a little research vignette before we come back and finish this. But we're finishing Blood 6 this turn, and what that means is everybody's favorite spell, Ill Winter. And by everybody's favorite spell, I mean one of my least favorite spells. If I'm playing a Heat Nation, which I think most people are. So, yeah, we're gonna go ahead and stick that up. Probably next turn. With all my boosters, it will not be a problem. I think the person who is going to cast it is going to be Jacinka. Where did I put Jacinka? Did she die? Here she is. So she's the one I empowered in blood. So she's blood 4. Oh, it's winter too. Late winter. Okay, we actually should just change shape, blood hunt. We need to take all our Scrotty and put them in werewolf form for the winter. I kind of forgot I wasn't paying attention. Which means a little less blood income for us, but it also means they don't get all afflicted. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm just going to hit Y on every province and see like who I have patrolling and make sure I have, in every province, I have at least some anti-elf measure that I can. I mean, I won't be able to cover all of them, but I'm going to have a lot. So like here, with water elementals and swarm and then a bunch of undead, there's a very good chance we freeze them to death, and then they'll just die, which will be a good end for elves. Here, okay, we've just got the swarm caster. I think this will kill one of his guys, but he'll get to actually execute his script, so it's different than an assassination. So I'll have to see, maybe not. I'll have him make another flesh eater. Okay, so let's talk about research again, because I said we were going to do it, but then we flashed it up. So we're getting blood. After that, I want Conjuration 5 so I can do air elementals. Plus there's other stuff I can probably do if I need to. Then Thom 5, which means my communions can start doing Soul Slay at, 5? And then if we go up to 6, we can get Enslaved Mind. I'm not sure if we will. Because I also am going to have teleporting. It's going to depend what's getting used against me. But I kind of want to get Storm access too, in case I want to put, like, not have flyers in a battle. Though we can do that also through a Staff of Storms. You know that I'm looking at it now. I really need to claim this throne I just took. Get some of my Dominion spread. But I don't really have... I don't have many Holy Threes, is the thing. That is indeed the thing. So, how are we going to solve this problem? My god can't go there. I guess I actually really need... Okay, I think it's better to go ahead and start claiming these thrones. So instead of you preaching, I think we're going to get you to peace the fuck out. Wait, do I not have... Okay, apparently I don't have teleported cloud trapeze. Okay, so we're gonna hit that, then we're gonna go Conjuration 5. Then we're gonna go Thom 5, and then we're gonna go Evocation 5. Okay. I think we're probably pretty low in the research graph, if I had to guess, compared to other people. Now, at some point, it's like, it doesn't really matter that much. It matters that you have enough. And I think I have enough, but, you know, Army of Gold and stuff can still fuck with me. A little bit. We can site search this for nature. Okay. Okay, so who do we have walking in here? We've got move and patrol on you. That seems okay. Maybe I want you to site search? Maybe we just give it to this guy. We let this guy patrol. Well, he's cursed. Maybe we give it to somebody else. Okay. Yeah, put the idiots at the back. Don't do communion slave. Instead do bless. Personal luck. And then stay behind troops, which should allow us to get, you know, as close as we're going to. Okay. So we'll have to retool this army when we roll them out. And I think they will be about ready to roll out. I think this is a pretty decent place for him to elf. If he elfs there, we'll be able to catch him. If he elfs here, we've got these two provinces open for elfing, which I don't terribly like. I'm also kind of partial to taking this lake back over. Maybe stealing Simone Shugo? Though I gotta get Thom 6, which is a while off. But honestly, a lot of this stuff's gonna go kind of quick. I know this looks like a lot of stuff, but a lot of it's a low level. Like, Blood 6 I'm getting this turn. I'll get Thom 2 and 3 next turn. I'll get Conjuration 4 next turn. Conjuration 5 I'll probably be mostly done with. Though I may also get that too. I haven't really done the math, but I don't think I would get it. Okay, more elfing. We need to take this back. I think here we're going to patrol, and I think here we're going to do... something like so. Get it out in front of the PD. Here I think we're going to patrol too. Well, actually we can preach. We don't really need to patrol, we can preach. And let's go ahead and take the same script here. And I think this will work, but you know, you never know. You just don't. Do we have any more arrow? We don't, okay. So we're gonna go pick up more. I've got a shit ton of dudes down here. We've got a lot of guys that need to roll out. Just start kind of gathering an army. The other thing is there's a fertility cult here, which... you know how I like fertility cults. Have I done a PD dump anywhere? I don't think I have. More Banefire crossbows, I think. Have you make an ethereal crossbow? Now this army is probably one of my strongest right now. And I'm kind of thinking we just push forward and start challenging his capital. We can site search for blood. We haven't site searched. So anyway, I'm probably going to finish it, but basically what's going to happen, we're going to reinforce this army, prepare for a fight. Then we're probably going to take this. Taking this actually is going to, I think, be pretty important because it should shatter... it'll start splitting up his empire on this front. Like, this will be very hard for him to defend because it's going to have to go through this wasteland and this forest to get there. And then we can kind of lay siege to that. Yeah, God, I gotta build infrastructure. Shit. I wonder if I have flying boots somewhere I could put on this guy. I think they're on a Scotty right now. Do I have boots of the messenger even? Or long stride boots? I'll go back and check, but I need to get him closer. I don't know if is he in range? Hit the wrong damn key. I don't even think we're in range. No, it's 7. So we actually need to move to another. I need to get at least here so I can TP next turn. Then I probably need to pull one of these idiots over here if I can. So anyway, we'll do it, but basically the plan is to have anti-elf stuff up in as many provinces as I can, to counter-raid, to loot the elven gear, make dryads, not really for this war. I don't think they're going to be terribly helpful versus the elves, unless I'm on a back foot and they're trying to siege down my shit. But they will be helpful against Fadod. And they will be helpful against United Nations Junior. So we are making lots of dryads. Lots of dryads. Lots of water bottles. We need to make mercury bottles, so I have some options there. Once Ill Winter goes up, we're probably going to take all our blood slaves and turn them into lifelong protections, because we're horrible and evil. But yeah, I think that's it. Other objectives are getting Dominion spread into our new lands. We may be the one that knocks out Max Verney. Like, this speaks to me. Like, if you're Therados and you don't really have much to do, I think they're having some battles down here, but you don't have that much to do, like, how do you not take this? I would eat the shit out of all this. Anyway, I think that's it, guys. Obviously, there's still a fair amount of work to do with the turn, but I think you get the gist of it. I'll see you guys next time.